So if you spend a ton of money and you have a team of salespeople, if I consider myself competing with anybody, which I don't, but if I said, "Oh, I'm gonna have to compete with Hermosi or any of these people," I need a sales team. That's gonna fix it. And then I go and I spend a lot of money on a sales team. It probably would work, but all they're going to be doing is exactly what I could do now. So we all think about like, oh, if I only had more money, if I only had more resources, if I only had more XYZ, I would make more money. But you're just basically hiring people to do the thing that you can do. You just got to do it. Just takes you longer and you got to do more of it and it takes more time and all the things, but you have that power right now. To me, that's very exciting. To me, that's like that autonomy and that control that I have over my own destiny is very cool. And I wouldn't hire a sales team or a salesperson or any of that until I started making sales through calls and through conversation. Because then I could say, okay, I know how to tell the next person to do what to do. Same thing goes for paid ads. Now, this isn't the case all the time because sometimes you put a paid ad up and all you're doing is sending them to a checkout page, which is fine. But a lot of times, I would dare say more than 50% of the ads that are paid for on Meta are to get someone on a phone call or to get someone on a webinar. And on that webinar, they lead you to a phone call. Like it's all the same. So there's one-to-one sales and there's one-to-many sales. If this were a webinar where I was teaching a very specific thing and we had been, it had been scheduled for a couple of days or a few days, I could teach you for 30 minutes. I could then pitch to you for 10 and I could take questions for 10 or something to that effect. And I could either have you link over to a checkout page or a book a call page or a VSL, video sales letter. And I could do that every week. We saw Danielle Leslie, a friend of ours, a friend of the group, um, who's just doing some really interesting stuff, I think fascinating stuff with her book. We saw she did a webinar every week for a year, and she made her first million in the first 6 months. Because she said at the top of the year or whenever, it may not have been the top, but she said, no matter what, I'm doing a webinar, the same webinar, by the way, every single week live for a year, no matter what. And she did that, and she made $1 million in 6 months. And then she went on to make about 20 million total over a 2 or 3 year period. Well, maybe 4 or 5 year period, but still millions a year because she did the one to many because that is a conversation. So she did the one to many. Her product was $2,000, the first product. She would do like 45 minutes of training, and then she would lead you right to the checkout page. Little bit of a caveat. This was during the height of COVID. So everybody was online and everybody wanted to have a course, and that's what she taught. But the main part of that is still true. What did she do? So what do we learn from that? She did the same thing every week, no matter what the results were. That's what a lot of people cannot do. I can't do YouTube because I'm not getting any views. What if I told you in 6 months you'll have views and you'll have more money than you can spend? I don't see it now, so I'm going to stop. Okay. She did the same one over and over again. So she stayed very niche and very specific. So what happened over time? Compounding interest, the compound effect that I talk about so often. So maybe in the first couple of months, you say, okay, that's interesting. But then if you see it again and it's being advertised or you see it somewhere talking about it, somebody's talking about it, you may go a second time and it just something clicks. And now when you think of course creation, now you think of Danielle Leslie. And now 6 months in, you really think of her because now she has all these testimonials. Because why? Because she stayed to the same thing for a long time. And now she has testimonials. She has people who have results. Testimonials are one thing, but results are another.